Have you ever walked into a room and felt invisible? Like somehow, after 50, the world decided you should blend into the background? Well, there's a woman who never got that memo. At 56, she steps out in sculptural gowns that look like wearable art. She pairs platinum hair with armor-like accessories. She treats fashion like poetry, not rules. Her name is Daphne Guinness, and she's living proof that dramatic style doesn't come with an expiration date. Here's what strikes me most about the Daphne. She doesn't dress for trends. She doesn't dress for approval. She dresses like her body is a canvas, and fashion is her voice. And you know what? That's exactly what we're going to explore today. Because if you've been told that bold fashion isn't age appropriate or that you should tone it down after 50, Daphne's approach offers a completely different path. A path where drama, artistry, and self-expression become more powerful, not less. Ready to see how? Let's begin. 1. The power of refusing to disappear. Let's start with something important. Daphne Guinness doesn't just wear clothes. She makes statements. Every single outfit is a declaration. I am here, I matter, I have something to say. And here's why that matters for you and me. Society has this quiet expectation that after 50, we should soften, simplify, fade gracefully into neutral tones and sensible choices. But Daphne shows us something radical. She shows us that this is actually when we can afford to be most ourselves. Think about it. At this stage, we know who we are. We've earned our confidence. We've lived enough life to stop caring about fitting in. Daphne embraces that freedom fully. She wears architectural designs, metallic fabrics, avant-garde silhouettes. She doesn't ask permission. And that's the first lesson. Dramatic fashion isn't about age. It's about courage. It's about refusing to disappear when the world expects you to. 2. Fast self-expression, not costume. Now, you might be thinking, but I could never pull off what she wears. And honestly, you're right, because Daphne's style isn't meant to be copied. It's meant to inspire you to find your own voice. Here's what I've learned from watching her. Dramatic fashion isn't about wearing the most outrageous thing you can find. It's about wearing what speaks to your soul, even if it raises eyebrows. For Daphne, that means sculptural shapes and metallic textures. For you, it might mean something entirely different. Maybe it's a bold red coat you've been too nervous to buy. Maybe it's statement jewelry that feels too much. The point isn't the specific piece. The point is this. When you dress to express yourself authentically, that's when fashion becomes powerful. That's when it transforms from costume into communication. And that has no age limit. 3. The art of mixing textures and proportions. Let's get practical for a moment. One thing Daphne does brilliantly is play with texture and proportion. She'll pair structured leather with flowing silk. She'll wear oversized pieces with fitted ones. She understands that drama comes from contrast. And here's why this matters for your wardrobe. You don't need avant-garde designer pieces to create visual interest. You just need to think differently about combining what you already own. Try this. Take that blazer you always wear and pair it with something unexpected. Leather pants instead of trousers, a flowing maxi skirt instead of jeans, mix smooth with textured, fitted with loose, matte with metallic. Daphne's approach teaches us that fashion becomes art when we stop following formulas and start experimenting with balance. The beauty of this technique, it works at any budget. At any age. It's not about expense. It's about creativity. It's about seeing your clothes as tools for self-expression, not just things to cover your body. 4. Signature elements that define your style. Daphne has her signatures: platinum hair, dramatic eye makeup, architectural accessories. These aren't random choices. They're consistent elements that create her recognizable identity. And this is something we can all learn from. What are your signature elements? What pieces or details make you feel most like yourself? Maybe it's a particular color that lights up your face. Maybe it's always wearing interesting earrings. Maybe it's your collection of scarves or your love of monochromatic dressing. Here's the thing about signature style. It makes getting dressed easier, not harder. When you know your non-negotiables, your wardrobe becomes more cohesive. You stop chasing every trend. You stop buying things that don't feel like you. Instead, you build a collection that reflects who you actually are. Daphne shows us that having a strong point of view isn't limiting, it's liberating. It's the difference between wearing clothes and having style. And developing that point of view, that's the work of a lifetime. We're just getting started. 5. Confidence over convention. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you chose an outfit based on what you loved versus what you thought was appropriate? Because here's what Daphne understands. Confidence is the only accessory that truly matters. She wears what she wears with complete conviction. No apologies, no hedging. No, I know this is a bit much, but that confidence transforms everything. It's the difference between looking like you're wearing a costume and looking like you own your choices. And confidence at this age, it's different than it was at 30. It's deeper. It's earned. It comes from knowing yourself, not from seeking approval. When you wear something bold, you're not asking, can I pull this off? You're declaring this is who I am. That shift in perspective changes everything. It transforms dramatic fashion from something scary into something empowering. It makes style a celebration, not a risk. And that's what Daphne teaches us every time she steps outside. 6. Building a wardrobe that tells your story. Daphne's wardrobe isn't random. Every piece has meaning, history, intention. She collects fashion like others collect art. And while we might not have her resources, we can absolutely adopt her mindset. Start thinking of your wardrobe as a curated collection, not a chaotic closet. What story are your clothes telling? What do they say about who you are and what you value? This doesn't mean you need expensive pieces. It means choosing intentionally. Keep the things that make you feel extraordinary. Release the things you're holding on to out of guilt or obligation. Invest in one statement piece that makes your heart race instead of 5 safe pieces that leave you feeling invisible. Quality over quantity, meaning over trends. Daphne shows us that our clothes can be as meaningful as any other form of self-expression. They're not frivolous. They're not vain. They're how we show up in the world. And at 50 plus, we've earned the right to show up exactly as we choose. 7. Your invitation to be unapologetically you. So here's what I want you to take away from Daphne's approach to style. It's not about copying her aesthetic. It's about borrowing her courage. It's about understanding that dramatic, bold, artistic fashion doesn't disappear at 50. Actually, it becomes more powerful because we have the confidence to wear it authentically. You don't need to dress like Daphne Guinness, but you can dress like the most expressive version of yourself. You can wear what makes you feel alive, even if it's unconventional. You can treat fashion as art, as communication, as joy. Because here's the truth. The world needs to see women over 50 taking up space, making bold choices, refusing to fade. Not for attention, for ourselves, for the pure pleasure of self-expression. That's what Daphne teaches us. That's the lesson we carry forward. Now tell me, what's one bold piece you've been too nervous to wear? It might be time to reconsider.